I've been thinking about making a video like this for a long time, and since my mood is going to that direction, I think it's time to do it. Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about credit cards, points, finances, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, at my very early beginnings, it was very hard for me to understand all the credit system here. I heard many people using credit cards for points. I didn't realize why. I was told that I should get a credit card in order to build credit, and if I have a good credit, that will help me in the future. I didn't know what all that means. I was a newbie and everything looked so difficult. So I was philosophizing, and I thought I should give you the bad and the good of the US credit system, because we're talking about credit cards, we're talking about redemptions, but we don't talk about the basics. I know most of you guys are seasoned in these kind of things, but there are many that are not. I know we have very young viewers. I have people asking me simple questions that all of us seem to know for years now, but they don't. So, okay, let's get down to it. To start building credit, you need a credit card, but you're not gonna get any credit card by just going into any bank. They don't know who you are. They're gonna ask you to deposit some money in a safe account, and then they're gonna give you a prepaid credit card, basically. But you're using your own money and you need to pay yourself back for the first few months. After that, if everything goes well and you pay back on time, they're gonna increase your credit limit and you're gonna take it from there. But this means you already have some cash laying around. If you put $200 towards that credit card, that means you cannot really use that $200. That is like lost money for some months, and then you have to pay extra every time. So that $200 stays there, and then you pay on top of that just to keep that balance high, and you keep your utilization. As you can imagine, utilization is about 35%, 30 or 35% if I remember correctly, of the total credit score. And they ask you to have less than 30% credit utilization, which means that at $200, you're gonna have about $60 before you go down. So you use $60, you pay $60 immediately just so you keep it perfect. The other thing I don't like is many times situations here are very difficult sometimes. You might lose your job. People live paycheck to paycheck. You might lose your job. You might find yourself unemployed for 2, 3, 4 months, and then that's going to have an impact on your credit score. And depending how bad things are for you, you might get a deep dent on your credit, and that means that your loans are going to get expensive. You might not even be able to get loans. You're not going to be able to apply for the good credit cards that offer all the nice benefits that we talk about on this channel. So it can be very difficult. It's a snowball effect. It goes downwards very fast. Before you know it, you might find yourself in trouble. And many people that get into that situation or very tough situations, they go to these very loosely controlled fast, quick loan companies. You see them everywhere. I remember back in 2010, you could see them everywhere. People go there. They can be really bad managed pawn shops. You can get your car there. They give you $1,000 for a $30,000 car, but if you're swamped, if you really don't know what to do, you might be that desperate to take it. They offer loans with very high APR. You basically are never able to pay it off unless you make a lot of money, and they know what they're doing. They're giving these big loans to people that don't have money to pay back, and they just keep getting all those APRs, make them rich while they suffer. And the fourth thing that I really don't like is that once you get to that point, you might go to jail for owning money. And what do? You can pay yourself out with a bond, typically. But you already went to the jail because you don't have money. So what do? You go to a bond loaner. There are loan companies that are specialized in bonds. So they pay that 2, 3, 4, 5,000 bond, and now you own them money. And it's a continuous cycle. If you're not careful, you might find yourself in debt, which is very depressing. This is the greatest democracy in the world. This is the largest economy in the world. Why would people have to suffer this way? But it's not all bad. First of all, let's go back to the first point that we said, that credits here make the world move. and credit cards. And I can tell you this much: I've been in many countries, I lived in a few countries, and I can tell you that there's no other country that you can go with $200 and start building credit, and that credit might lead you to get cheap loans in the future to buy a house, to buy a car, to buy whatever you want. This does not happen. This is a US thing. Try to pull that in a European country. Go to the UK that you all guys love and you love the Queen and everybody there, and try to get a loan. Just tell them you have 5 good credit cards that you keep paying on time, and ask them to give you a loan to buy a house. They're gonna laugh at your face, they're gonna kick you out. That doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Only in this country. You can start with $200, you can start building credit. A few years down the line, you can find yourself as a homeowner and build something out of nothing. This is incredible. It doesn't happen only in this country. The credit cards have excellent rewards. Do you think you're gonna get the Amex Platinum even that's around the world, and you're gonna have the same benefits that we have here in the US? They don't have the same benefits. I can tell you this much: the kind of credit cards that we have here in the US are completely out of competition. No other country offers anything like this, especially for people in the middle class. I mean, yes, they offer great credit cards for the super rich, but middle class people don't have the kind of benefits that we have in this country. And on top of that, we have the best customer service. Try to call a bank in Europe, and you will see how long you will wait. Long hours. They treat you like they own you. In many cases, like in the UK, for example, I had a friend that's a millionaire, and he was calling his bank, and he was connected to foreign countries, and it was taking hours to ask the most simple question. And you call here, and if you wait more than a few minutes, especially in the case of Amex, forget it, or Discovery that I hear a lot, and now we'll get to taste with my new Discovery It credit card. Yeah, we are spoiled and we don't even know it. And overall, guys, the kind of things that we have here in the US, the credit system is working to the advantage of the wise. If you work in a decent job, if you don't go crazy and try to keep up with the Johnsons, you're gonna make it. And I'm an example of this. I'm not saying I'm throwing money in the clubs every night, but I have a decent life. I have a nice car. I live in a nice area. My daughter is going to a nice school, and I have a decent job, and things happen, and they keep improving. That's the other thing. Like, the projections are only towards improvement. Again, try that with other countries. You don't know what's coming up tomorrow, and here we all expect that things will improve. We take it for granted, but other people don't. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What's your experience with the credit system? If you had any issues, if it helped you to build something out of nothing, I would love to hear that. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, ciao.